Something big is coming. Beyond Video and the Unhurried Explorers, in partnership with the RAAF Museum, are proud to present aircraft of the RAAF. First in the series, Mustang P-51, followed closely by Canberra B-20. Watch for these coming soon. There's an air of anticipation over this airfield. It could be an airfield anywhere in Australia, but in fact it's a small airfield just out of Seymour in Victoria. It's called Mangalore. Mangalore is the host of the SAAA's Convention Weekend. This is Easter 1986. Over these 4 days of Easter, there are going to be thousands of planes which will pull into this airport for the convention and the fly-in, and on Sunday, the Air Spectacular. This is the 12th annual convention here at Mangalore, and some of the forums can tail on how to build an ultralight aircraft, how to work on fabric-covered aircraft, how to build a metal aircraft. Other people discuss on warbirds and how to get them into the air. There are numerous forums going on right through the weekend. This is only one facet of the Mangalore weekend. The aircraft keep arriving all day long. There will be aircraft arriving from all over Australia. The SAAA charter some of the Ansett jets from Western Australia and other capital cities. These aircraft will be arriving throughout the weekend, bringing some of the SAAA members from all over the country just to participate in Mangalore 86. This is typical of the SAAA. The members are a close-knit community, even though they live so far away. Mangalore 86, as per previous Mangalores, are put together not by one person, but by all the members. Many people who spend over 12 months just working to get Mangalore and the airshow underway. It seems strange when you look around the field. There's numerous people working here and there, marshals directing planes, people in the information area, other people making fences up, putting the toilets out, all sorts of things. All of these people are doing this on a volunteer basis. This is what the SAAA is all about. There's Des Kramer, wheeling his RAN KR2 towards us. Let's have a chat to him and see what he can tell us about building this aircraft. Des, this is a RAN KR2, and it's basically a timber aircraft, but where does the foam construction come into this aircraft? Halve it up.
Well, mainly the foam infill is between the two spars in the wing assembly. The foam is polyurethane foam, and it's supplied in sheets, in flat sheets, and it is cemented in between the ribs and in between the two spars, and then shaped off to get the actual shape of the wing. And then the Dynel cloth is put over the outside of that, similar to fiberglassing, and then the whole is cemented with a type of araldite epoxy resin 2-mix glue, and the whole lot then is squeegeed off so that you've got a very thin layer of glue left, and then having done that, you stick waxed paper over the top and to show you where the air bubbles are, and also when you've peeled the wax off you get the very fine finish like Laminex. You know, it's very, very smooth.
Right, so it's similar to sort of making a surfboard, in fact.
Yeah, that'd be right, yeah.
Well, what sort of speed does this aircraft do?
Well, maximum speed is 145 knots. The VNE speed, which is the velocity never exceed, is 173 knots. Straight and level it does 145 flat out. Normal cruise is about 120 knots on approximately 3 gallons an hour.
Right, well, here's a leading question for you. What would be one of your best trips that you've done in this aircraft?
Well, the best trip is the one that I've just done from Dalby in Queensland down to Mangalore. I was averaging 130 knots, ground speed, and I just felt on top of the world, sliding along in the smooth air. It was beautiful. It was a lovely trip, really, really good. This is the third time I've been down, actually.
Right, yes, I was just about to say that I believe you've been down here 3 times now, and I guess you'll be down many more.
I'm not sure about that, no. I don't know. I put it this way. My first trip down, I broke a propeller. My second trip down, I had the magneto come apart. And this trip, I haven't had anything wrong, so I've got my fingers crossed.
There's the Grumman tracker. This is from the Fleet Historic Air Arm at Nowra. We've taken a helicopter up, just so as we can have a look at some of the aircraft from the air as they land at Mangalore. There's takeoffs and departures all over the weekend here. People practicing their routines for the air show on Sunday. Others just flying their home builds. There's the Dragonfly. This aircraft is quite an unusual one of my favourites. There are numerous aircraft. They're coming from everywhere. There's the Slin. This aircraft is one of the historic ones. We've seen numerous departures from all over Australia, and all these aircraft are heading for one place. Yes, Mangalore. The parking area looks bare, but certainly by Sunday this will be full. I can assure you of that. More departures and arrivals. The aircraft are coming in a steady stream at this stage. There's the Warrior team from Moorabbin Aviation Academy. They're practicing their routine for Sunday. They're what's known as the Precision Flying Team. And this is the Mole arriving. This aircraft is a new one to Australia. A Piper Warrior makes its final approach to Mangalore. And here we come for a bird's eye view of Mangalore. As we make our final approach, this little aircraft gets ready to set down. It's a short takeoff and short landing aircraft. And here we are at Mangalore. Just another one of the aircraft that will be participating here over the weekend. And you do a lot of flying in aircraft. I know it's a lot of door-off operations, but what do you like the best about flying?
Well, when I'm in an aircraft and I'm looking out at the world, I always feel that it looks like it has a real order about it, and it makes any part of the world that you look at, instead of being chaotic, it turns it into patterns, and I just really like to see how the world really looks.
Oh, it's sort of like a contour map.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Well, we're off to Mangalore. What are you going to Mangalore for?
Well, I like to see the people involved with aircraft, and I like to see the aircraft themselves, and I hope we can see a bit of both.
Yeah. No, I like the warbirds, and I'm not all that active in the ultralights, but I do like the home builds.
I've got a bit of a soft spot for the tracker right now.
Right, so like the warbirds as well. Do you want to take her down?
Okay, well, let's go.
The aircraft that you can see landing now has been chartered by the SAAA. This one was chartered from Western Australia. It's to bring the members from over there to the Mangalore weekend. Something else to note about this aircraft, it's never been seen in the eastern states before. Yes, it's Ansett latest edition. It's the BAE 146 series. This aircraft is incredibly quiet. Ansett will probably fly this aircraft a lot harder than what any other airline would. They expect to clock up around 3,600 hours before the end of the year. There's some of the Western Australian contingent of the SAAA. They've flown across in the Ansett jet. This jet's going to be staying here all weekend and departing about 3 o'clock on Sunday after the air show. And there's Charlie Irwin, Mr. SAAA from Western Australia. He made all the trophies for the events on Sunday. And the Mitchell arrives, just another one of the warbirds that'll be participating on Sunday. Ultralights arrive from all over the country, some of them being brought here by car, others flying in from all over the place. As you can see here, the parking area is beginning to fill up. It's only Saturday morning, and it's already quarter full. As you look around, you can see a multitude of different aircraft, everything ranging from the home-built to the warbird to the factory-built. New planes, medium-range planes, warbirds. Even the old planes, the antique planes, or like the Southern Cross here. They all come to Mangalore because this is where it all happens. Just looking around Mangalore here today at the ultralight section, there's a myriad of different types of ultralights. Now we're going to be speaking to some of these people today and we'll see just what it is that makes them want to build their own aircraft and fly these little one-man machines. Mike, you've built this Cobra. Did this come in a kit form?
It came in a kit form, yes. The plans were to allow about 40 hours to build it. It's the second machine I built from a kit. I took 2 weeks off work to build it, to thoroughly enjoy it, and it took 2 days.
Right. Well, I noticed that it's quite a streamlined looking machine when you compare it to a few of the others. How far can you go on like a tank of fuel, and what would be your range and certain things like that?
Okay, well, depending on the sort of flying you're doing, I flew up here from Riddles Creek down to Sunbury yesterday, and that took just on 10 litres. It's around about 10 litres an hour. You get about 2 hours range from the tank. As far as streamlined machines go, of the rag and wire brace machines, it's up there with the best of them. But as far as the fiberglass machines are concerned, it doesn't stand a chance.
Yes, well, of course, with the fiberglass machines, they're almost a total aerofoil shape. They're a very streamlined and very sturdy machine. I always get a little worried when I look at the fabric-covered ones, but obviously they stand up with the best of them, and they're quite a safe machine. Would you agree with that?
Yes, definitely. One of the best things about the Dakar machines is that if something's going wrong, you can feel it. You can feel the leading edge spars through the wire. This one's done about 66 hours now. When she hits 100 hours, she's going to be torn right down. With a fiberglass machine, that's not as easy. You've got internal structures enclosed by fiberglass. You can't see if there's a crack developing. You've just got to trust that there's not.
Right. Well, that certainly makes the benefit for the fabric-coloured machines. Now, I noticed that you've got a parachute here.
Yes.
Obviously, that's for your safety requirements.
Yep.
Have you ever had to use one?
Never. Never will have to either.
Right. Now, with this, with the parachute, how does it operate? And do all the ultralights use them?
Not all the ultralights use them. Personally, I think they should be. Some of the guys are of the impression that if your aircraft's been built properly, it's not going to break up, so it's a waste of time, which is kind of a head in the sand attitude as far as I'm concerned. The parachute itself is ridiculously simple. There's a line connected there to the handle above my head, which is just held on very loosely. The way the system works, there's a very small parachute at the mouth of the canister. When the wires are pulled, that small parachute is popped out, that inflates. That's about an 18-inch, 2-foot diameter.
Right.
That small chute drags out the main canopy, which is attached by nice thick lines up down to the keel of the aircraft.
Right.
So the whole aircraft comes down backside first. The idea being that you'll destroy the rear of the aircraft, that'll absorb the impact, not me.
Right, so basically ultralights today are becoming an extremely safe and a very good machine to the alternative flying.
They are very cheap, very effective form of flying. And once we can get our two-seat training organised, things are going to be a lot easier. It's going to make things a lot easier for us to teach guys.
How is it going with two-seat training? Now, I've heard a lot of rumours that they're illegal, etc. Well, they are illegal at the moment, but where does it stand at the moment? Are we going to be able to see them shortly, or is it still something that's maybe just in the near future?
Well, there's still a few proposals very much up in the air. There are definitely two-seat trainers around. They are definitely flying, but the gents that are flying them and giving them instruction are ex-general aviation flying instructors, chief flying instructors. They're not just your average dog's body. There are fellas flying two-place machines without any formal instruction training, but they are generally just flying themselves, take missus up for a fly, take the kids up for a fly, but that's about the limit of. They're not doing instruction.
Ultralights have come a long way from the fabric-covered machine to the Stratus here. This little aircraft is an extremely streamlined machine. And yes, they were all developed from this type of machine. Long easies, sitting ready, waiting for their Sunday debut. Another warbird arrives from the Fleet Air Rail. The good old DC-3, the workforce of the Air Force all over the world. The Spitfire warms up. It's going to be practicing some of its aerial routine for Sunday. The Spitfire, yes, well, that's the prima donna of the air show. Another first for Sunday. There's another new aircraft in Australia. That's the Mole. It's a short landing and short takeoff aircraft, as you can see here. Judging takes place all over the weekend. These judges are looking at the warbirds at the moment. What they're looking for here is authenticity. The aircraft needs to look exactly like it was when it was flying. They're looking for serial numbers, pins in the undercarriage, anything. Literally, anything that makes this aircraft look authentic. And that's really the word. Points are deducted for advertising and things like that. Even in the cockpit, the judges are looking for labels on switches. Long Easies arrive back from their practice routine. They're going to be doing a fly pass in formation on Sunday. These aircraft look sort of peculiar, but they're a sturdy little aircraft, a two-seater at that. There's the air traffic controllers. They've been kept busy with arrivals and departures all day. And now, let's have a look at one of the highlights of the weekend, the dinner.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, did you see the Dave Allen show the other night? He said, apathy is on the decline, but who cares? But in aviation, it's never been that way. And I think it's good that we can throw our chests out from time to time. Okay, Bill. And in the cause of aviation, Australia can, because we've really been there from the start. From Hargraves through to Bert Hinkler, Kingsford Smith, CP It seems like yesterday. A member of the Sports Aviation Association of Australia, Clive Canning, made history by flying his amateur-built Thorpe to the UK and returned 22,000 nautical miles. An epic flight in an amateur-built aircraft, which I don't think has been succeeded. And because of what's at stake, and because people from all over Australia have congregated here for the special occasion which it is, it's my pleasure to introduce you to your new federal president. Would you put your hands together for Mr. Ian Dixon? Thank you very much, Tony. Honourable Peter Morris, members of Parliament, distinguished guests, our friends from ANZET, SAAA, fellow members, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mangalore 86, our 12th annual convention. We're indeed great to look out over and see everyone, especially our friends from Western Australia who for this year have made their trek across the Great Mangalore in their own private jet. We'll call it private. 146, it brought tears to my eyes yesterday to see you all here after your hospitality of a month ago. And that goes for the South Australians 2 months ago at Murray Bridge and the people of Kingaroy just prior to Christmas. Travelling around in the short time that I have with the Sport Aircraft Association, it makes me feel very humble just to realise what a great bunch of people I represent, and I really appreciate it. I only hope that I can serve you to the best of my ability. The awards this year have been superb. Once again, I think if you've had a chance to walk through and see the effort by the Western Australians again, and particularly Mr. Western Australia, Charlie Irwin down here. Charlie, great to have you over here, mate, and we really appreciate the effort you put into this. I don't think you could go anywhere in the world and see a better range of trophies that have been hand-designed, hand-carved, and by such a craftsman as yourself. Tremendous effort. The theme of this year's air show, of course, is 5 decades of flight. We've picked this theme because of ANZET's golden anniversary, a very appropriate time, and although we recognise a great airline, which ANZET is in this country, we also have to recognise the father of ANZET Airlines, the late Sir Reginald ANZET. There's a gentleman down there called Peter Crooks. We've tried to get money out of him this afternoon. Been here takes so many times, it was 2 3/4 minutes. Did he put the hard word on it? Sorry, mate. Same answer as last year, I haven't got any money. But that didn't disappoint him, because after all, he wheedled into the program a little stuff. We sort of spent, I'll come back to it later, but this little stuff that he sort of raved, sort of impromptu, I was told. We're just going to be out there, what's going on? Don't worry, it's all okay. Won't take 60 seconds. So out of the blue we raced across down the taxiways and over onto the grass. And here, would you believe, they've suddenly erected a new taxiway that's been rolled over culverts, and I don't know whether it's the right width. I hope it's the right width, and I hope it meets the design specification. I'm sure there'll be an A&R that covers it. There would be, wouldn't there? Yeah. I'm still learning about some of these things. And they had a thing up there, the big orange ribbon. And would you believe they tried to name it after me? And he had on this sign on Peter Morris Taxiway. I said, no way, mate. So he gave me a pair of scissors and I decided I would name it. I did name it. The Peter Crooks Memorial Avenue. We hope sincerely that in a few more years that Mangalore and the Mangalore Air Show will have the same status in the Southern Hemisphere as Oshkosh has on the other side of the equator. First flew on the 17th of the 8th.
During the evening, people who had constructed their own aircraft were presented with gold badges, and also a certificate certifying their right to wear those gold badges. Best Amateur Built Award went to Tony Middleton's Thorpe T-18 Tango Mike Foxtrot, which he first flew on the 10th of the 11th, 1984. Other people to receive their gold badges were Jeff Carr for NRV, which was first flown on the 10th of the 12th, 84.
Audrey Linebrick for JFL, first flown on the 17th of the 8th, 85.
Gary Hastings for LTD, first flown on the 4th of the 12th, 85.
Bill Taylor for LUV, first flown on the 11th of the 5th, 84.
Bruce Rumble for URR, first flown on the 27th of the 10th, 85.
Henry Ladder for a Colby Star. This aircraft will never be flown but is used as a display aircraft for the SAAA. This was felt that he deserved a gold badge as well.
One went to Lindsay Day for LDL, first flown on the 8th of the 8th, 85.
John Scott for JSL, first flown on the 8th of the 8th, 85.
John Bird for JPR, first flown on the 1st of the 8th, 85.
Brendan Brannan for EZL, first flown on the 4th of the 9th, 85.
John Kanga for KIL, first flown on the 14th of the 7th, 84.
Murray McRae for Delta India India, first flown on the 26th of the 2nd, 86.
John Sabatina for XTC, first flown on the 13th of November 1984.
Charles Leggetti for his Stratus, first flown in April 85.
And to Cliff Carter, who unfortunately will be unable to receive his gold badge tonight because of an accident at Tyab.
They come forward, I was asking and Dixon in their presence to name the new life member.
Thank you, Tony. Life member of the SAAA, of course, is a tradition that is bestowed upon someone that has spent many years in servicing the SAAA and what we're all about. There are so many people that a board like this should be bestowed upon, but under our constitution we have 10 positions, and at the moment there is a vacancy, and the council unanimously, with one exception, we decided to appoint Fred Hooton as the new life member of the SAAA. Fred, I think it was a tremendous honour to be able to bestow upon you the first of our new life member badges, and I'm certainly very pleased to make you our new life member for the SAAA. And I thank you very much for your help and guiding hand over the last 6 months and helping me in my new role as president.
Thank you. Well, I suppose I have to say a few words. Absolutely. Firstly, it's a total surprise. No inkling of this. And I wondered when he said the Federal Council agreed. Well, I can't remember agreeing to that at all. And perhaps that was the first suspicion that I had. But I thank the Federal Council and the Association. It's a tremendous honour, and you only have to look at the life members standing here and those who unfortunately can't make it tonight. All of them have done a tremendous amount for the association, and I'm very pleased to join their ranks. Thank you, everybody.
We bought you a birthday cake. I see there's a few people here in short sleeves tonight. Now,